This is Real News Media TV, coverage you can trust. Please like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates. Teen allegedly shot and killed by soldiers in Spanish Town. Residents of Valdez Road in Spanish Town, St. Catherine, are now protesting the shooting death of a member of the community, allegedly by soldiers. They are claiming that the 18-year-old was shot in cold blood and disputed the claims that he was armed with a gun. The police are reporting that he had engaged the soldiers in a shootout and was shot during the exchange. He was taken to the Spanish Town Hospital where he was pronounced dead. Subsequently, residents blocked a section of Valdez Road, but it was cleared by the security forces, who are maintaining a strong presence in the area. 3 injured after delivery truck overturns on Spur Tree Hill. 3 persons are in hospital nursing injuries after a delivery truck carrying rice overturned along the Spur Tree Main Road in Manchester this morning. It is reported that the truck was traveling along the main road when the driver encountered mechanical difficulties and lost control of the vehicle, which overturned. The incident happened about 8 o'clock. The injured persons were rushed to the Mandeville Regional Hospital. Their conditions are unknown. The incident is said to have occurred in the vicinity of an accident-prone spot along the roadway. There was a heavy pileup of traffic this morning as firefighters sought to remove the truck from the road. The congestion has since been cleared. It is also reported that the truck was looted before the police arrived. Another couple shot dead by gunmen in western Jamaica. A man and a woman were shot dead by gunmen in Granville, St. James on Wednesday. The deceased have been identified as Sean Holness and Jodian Roberts, both 28-year-old residents of Gordon Crescent in St. James. The attack comes a day after another couple was shot dead by gunmen in Westmoreland, which shares the borders with St. James in the western end of the island. The deceased in Tuesday's attack were identified as Anthony Godfrey and his common-law wife Kristen Brooks. Regarding Wednesday's attack, the Granville police reported that at about 11:45 p.m., both Holness and Roberts were pounced upon by gunmen who opened fire, hitting them before escaping in the area. Residents summoned the police, who transported them to the hospital where they were pronounced dead. Investigations are ongoing. Cops nabbed the men wanted for murder of teacher and a tire shop owner. 2 men who were wanted for a double murder on Spanish Town Road, Kingston 11 on Wednesday, March 17, were nabbed in Hampstead, St. Mary on Monday, July 12. The men were wanted by the Major Investigation Division following the shooting deaths of 36-year-old Richard Williams, otherwise called Tuppy, a tire repair man of Spanish Town Road, Kingston 11, and 42-year-old Kido Goya, a teacher of Deanery Road, Kingston 3. Williams and Goya were at a tire shop when they were pounced upon by men traveling in a Honda Stream motor car who opened gunfire, hitting them. The police were alerted and they were taken to hospital where they were pronounced dead. The men were picked up at a house in St. Mary during an operation led by the Area 2 Fugitive Apprehension Team. They were subsequently transferred to the MID where murder charges will be laid. Meanwhile, citizens are being reminded that it is a criminal offense to harbor or create a safe haven for criminals. Watermount residents appeal for pedestrian bridge. Residents of Watermount in St. Catherine on Wednesday staged a protest calling for the construction of a pedestrian bridge in the community. Last month, the residents complained that a bridge which connected the community to the Worthy Park to Bamboo Road was demolished and there was no suitable alternative. A resident told the news that the problem has worsened as a temporary road is no longer available after it was blocked with boulders by a fellow resident. Dr. Christopher Tufton, Member of Parliament for St. Catherine West Central, said it was very unfortunate that the citizen who has the alternative possibility has opted to not allow for the citizens, noting that this is not in keeping with the community spirit. Dr. Tufton said he will meet with the residents of Watermount shortly to discuss their concerns and look at the possibility of alternatives. Funeral homes urge government to pay up owed fees. A number of funeral homes contracted to the forensic unit of the Ministry of National Security are yet to be paid for services provided to the government, with payments reportedly outstanding for more than 5 years. Calvin Lynn, president of the Jamaica Association of Certified Embalmers and Funeral Directors, said this is causing serious challenges for contractors in meeting their obligations to financial institutions and suppliers of goods and services. Mr. Lynn said about 8 contractors, including his company, Lynn's Funeral Home, are affected by the delayed payments. Speaking with the news on Wednesday, Mr. Lynn insisted that funeral homes need the money as the promises are getting repetitious. He wants the bill to be settled by the end of next month. Probe into monkeys on the loose in St. James. The St. James Health Department has launched an investigation into reported sightings of roaming monkeys. Sherika Lewis, Deputy Chief Public Health Inspector for St. James, told the news on Wednesday that she had spoken to Mark Magon, Councillor of the Somerton Division, where the alleged sightings were reported. Lewis said that Magon has shared that green monkeys had been seen in Maroon Town in the St. James South Division. During the St. James Municipal Corporation's monthly meeting last Thursday, Magon stated that reports have surfaced of monkeys and other exotic animals being spotted in sections of St. James and St. Elizabeth. He labeled them a potential health risk. There are reports of monkeys, snakes, and so on that have been seen in different areas in the hills of St. James and St. Elizabeth. We have been having reports of some of these animals that are not native to our country escaping and running around our wildlife, and also there is a fear of what new diseases and viruses they may bring, said Magon. Lewis said that interagency cooperation would be needed to keep in check any potential outbreak of zoonotic diseases such as leptospirosis and bird flu. If information is found that there are any new diseases, we have to educate the public and do a disease surveillance in the communities where any new virus is found to be in, she said. Concerns surrounding exotic animals came to the fore in the July 7 Supreme Court ruling that businessman Alexander Harbour removed his collection of 20 macaws, 4 cockatoos, 2 Japanese fowls, and an African grey parrot from his Norbrook St. Andrew home in a noise nuisance spat. Under Section 13 of Jamaica's Animals Act, no bird, insect, or reptile may be imported except in accordance with a license granted by the Director of Veterinary Services. Section 14 of the same Act says that the Minister of Agriculture may make regulations restricting, regulating, or prohibiting the importation of animals or poultry or of their carcasses, litter, dung, or other similar things. Robbery spate in Manchester has slain crook linked to dozens of crimes. A slain serial larcenist has been positively identified in more than 30 cases of sacrilege and shop break-ins across Manchester stretching back several years, investigators have confirmed. Garnet Dixon, 37, also known as Polo, of Resource Cross Keys, Manchester, was shot and killed by police during an operation in St. Elizabeth on April 22. Detectives traced Dixon to the theft of appliances from churches and items from grocery shops and bars located in Manchester and Clarendon, totaling hundreds of thousands of dollars. While murders and shootings have fallen in Manchester, there has been an uptick in robberies and break-ins. Robberies have climbed by 22% from 41 to 50, and the break-ins have risen 7% from 87 to 93. Though this man is no longer with us, we will still have more than our fair share of break-ins, and we are asking the citizens to target harden themselves and their homes, said Deputy Superintendent of Police Lloyd Darby. We have a lot of break-ins in the daytime when people have left and gone to work. Darby, who has replaced Superintendent Gary Francis as commander of the Manchester Police Division, said returning residents who are in transition continue to be heavily targeted because they leave their homes unsupervised for months at a time. Many of them spend 6 months here, then 6 months abroad, and leave their homes unattended. Sometimes there is a caretaker who comes in occasionally, but persons watch will go and break in and take out large items, the commanding officer said. Please remember to like, share, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Select all for daily news updates.